Hey leaders, I wanted to reach out through video and just say thank you so much for the past weeks of support and prayer. Aaron and I are so grateful for the extra time and energy and love and care that you put into the past, over a month now of covering for us and caring for the youth and finishing up the school year strong. I am beyond grateful to have leaders like you that are not only willing to put in the time, but the love and the care that the students deserve. While we've been gone, we have fully trusted that they are in good hands and that you guys are doing an amazing job. And I want to also thank you for your patience as we've been away. It has been so beneficial for both me and Aaron, probably in ways that we don't even understand, that we haven't had to get thrust back into regular life too quickly. It's going to be a hard adjustment regardless, but it would have been even harder, much harder, if we had had to do that within a week or two of losing Alina. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your willingness to care for us in that way through caring for the youth. Just so that you know, I wanted to update you on what we are kind of planning on doing so that you're in the know. So this coming Sunday, we're planning on being back and it being regular at that point. And I'm already working this week. I am obviously helping with the VBS nights. But also I'm working from home, doing some communication such as this and kind of getting back into the regular routine of things. And then next week I'll be back to a regular schedule like I have been prior to everything happening. I've talked with Pastor Kenneth just so that you guys are in the know and aware. My plan, Aaron and my plan is to stay full time right now. And I told Pastor Kenneth that there's no rush in finding a new person to fill my role. Prior to this happening, obviously we were trying to shoot for the beginning of the school year, and we sort of still are, just for the sake of the youth to be able to have that transition happen at that time. But I told Pastor Kenneth that there's no rush whatsoever, and that we want to be here to support and to serve the church at whole, but also the youth, especially, and not rushing that process and making sure that whoever it is that God has in store for this next chapter in LSM's story, that it's the right person, and that you guys as a leadership team will have time to search for that person and pray over what that looks like, and that Aaron and I will be here as long as we're needed. And we just want to be here to serve and to care for the youth in the best way. And we think that that's just not to put the pressure on to move that any quicker. However, I also told Pastor Kenneth that that if they find somebody and that transition needs to happen sooner, then that's okay with us as well. It's obviously going to be deeply, deeply sad for us to experience that, that transition in our lives, and letting go of the role that we play in the student ministry. That's going to be sad regardless of the time when it comes. But I wanted to let him know that we don't have any expectations with the timeline. So I wanted you guys to know that so that you're aware, and also so that you can be praying over this next step in the church's story and LSM's story, and praying that God would bring the person that he has in store for the student ministry that would be best for this next season. With that said, I'm already thinking about next year and thinking about what the schedule is going to look like and so forth. Now, obviously, depending on when this transition happens and what this person would like to do, that's ultimately in their control. But Pastor Kenneth has asked me to kind of go ahead and plan out at least a brief sketch of the year, so that that's already there, so that person doesn't have to just build something from nothing. So with that said, I want you guys to be thinking about a couple things. The first thing is whether you want to serve next year. I'll be having conversations with you guys. Obviously, when you signed up to help, it's kind of like for a full school year. And so summertime is kind of a readjustment time. And so you are more than welcome if you're not feeling led to lead next year. Then I'm not going to pressure you to do that. Just know that from the front end. However, all of you guys are really awesome, so I don't want to lose any of you, especially with this transition coming up. That's not to put any pressure on you. That's just to say that you guys are great. And I think that it would be a benefit and a strength to whomever it is that comes next to have a group of leaders like you around them, especially to continue to carry the torch of what the youth ministry has been doing and kind of that culture that's been built to help facilitate that DNA being passed on to this new person. Obviously, they're going to be bringing their own uniqueness, and that's fine. But that you guys will play a very significant role in kind of making that adjustment as smooth as possible, not only for the new person, but especially for the youth who have, gotten used to what we're doing. And that adjustment can be made a little bit smoother if you guys are there to kind of guide and help the new person figure out what it is that that we've been doing, because they won't know. They won't know exactly what that's looked like. So if you're wanting to serve next year as a leader in the student ministry, I will be happy to try to support you and to prepare you for that. With that said, over the next month or so, I will be putting together a leader meeting of sorts for those of you that want to serve next year. My hope is to have a packet of information for you guys of the upcoming calendar for the year so that you have that, but to also talk about what this transition kind of looks like and kind of the thoughts that you guys have in it, and to basically empower you guys as much as I'm able to. Depending on when the transition happens, I want to be preemptive in that. It could be that the transition doesn't happen very soon, and if it doesn't, then great. We're being preemptive, and it will be good. But what I don't want to do is to wait too long and then have that transition happen, and me have not given you guys the information and empowered you guys in the best way possible. So we're in June. Most likely it will be either in June or July that I'll have a leader meeting. I might have a couple of them just depending on how much we get through and what you guys want from me and from Aaron in order to empower you for this next school year. So if you'll be praying about that, praying about whether you want to serve in the student ministry next year. And if you do, if you want to reach out to me through email or text, that'd be great, so I can go ahead and start compiling a list of those that are wanting to. And if you don't, again, I'm not going to pressure you. If you'll reach out to me and just let me know so that I can plan for that and recruit and so forth, that would also be helpful so that we can prepare in the best way for the coming school year. It's crazy that we're already talking about the coming school year. I know that it's kind of early in the game, but I just want to be on top of things to make sure that the transition and adjustment to new leadership will be as smooth as possible. Okay, so I wanted to communicate that, and I wanted to communicate our gratitude for all that you guys have done over the past weeks and the love and care that you've shown us. We are so grateful. So thank you for that. If I can do anything to assist you or answer any more questions about what I've talked about in this video, please feel free to reach out to me. I am working, obviously I'm working from home, but working, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. You guys are an integral part in this upcoming transition, so I want to make sure that we're all on the same page so that we can make that transition as smooth as possible, especially for the youth, so that they aren't disrupted too much. Obviously, it's going to be sad for everybody, but it is what it is. And so I just want to do the best that I can. Erin wants to do the best that she can to support and to love and to care, even after we have stepped out of that leadership role. Okay, so I hope you guys have a good day. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will be happy to answer them. And I love you guys, and I appreciate all the hard work that you guys put into the student ministry.